We're going to start with pitchers like how we usually start with pitchers. Part of me is even thinking about starting with relief pitchers and getting really kind of weird with it because we got some real iconic relief pitching mustaches. We're talking Raleigh Fingers. We're talking Sparky Lyle. We're talking Goose Gossage. We're talking Dennis Eckersley. We're probably got some other iconic dashes on the. Oh, Dan Queensberry. Iconic stash. Rod Beck. Iconic stash. Todd Jones. Okay, so we have a lot of relief pitchers to choose from. Some current day starting. Okay, we can't start with relief pitchers because then I don't want to fit in the starters. I want to start with someone. And so let's start with relief. Let's start with starting pitchers. We've got Catfish Hunter. We've got Randy Johnson. We got El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. I love that guy growing up for some reason. I'm not sure why. We got Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry. We got Dave Stieb, underrated pitcher from the Blue Jays. I think I saw on Twitter the other day that he has like the highest WAR of any starter from the 80s, which sounds crazy when you think about it. But Dave Stieb, we got Doug Drybeck. He won a Cy Young, I believe. We've got some new guys, Spencer Strider, Dylan Cease. Okay, I think we got a good sort of mix of guys. I think we might go like kind of pitching heavy-ish on this, but I don't know. Okay. What pitcher do we want to start? We mentioned Dave Stieb. Let's see if there's a Stieb. We mentioned Dave Stieb as an highest WAR of the 80s. I don't know if that's true. Someone fact check me. But let's see if he does it for me. I mean, these are all really good years. And a lot of innings in these 80s. Again, he played all of the 80s, so that's probably part of it. Like, I don't know when I think Clemens was a rookie in like 83 or 84 or something. So, you probably didn't get as many Clemens seasons. Okay, this is really interesting to me. 2-1 K to walk. I really like this version of him. What's the difference between this version and this version? This one strikes out more guys, walks less, gives up less homers. This one gives up less hits. Okay, we're going 84 Stieb. 1984 Stieb. Let's take a look at this mustache real quick. I'm not gonna do this on all the guys, but look at that mustache. Look at that stash. We love it. Is this a stash or is this a beard? That's a stash. That's a stash. We can see it on the side. That's a stash, baby. Okay. So we got Stieb. I think we're also going to see if there's an El Presidente, Dennis Martinez, because another sort of underrated guy, forgotten guy at a time. But he had a great stash. Expos, Indians. This was a guy. I loved this guy growing up for some reason. Again, pitched through the whole 80s. I wonder where he ranks among the 80s WAR. Someone tell me in this that doesn't strike out. Okay, this is a great strikeout to walk ratio. Not a lot of home runs, good hits. Doesn't necessarily have the innings. This one has more innings, less Ks, less strikeouts, but still 2-1. Less homers, more innings. If we take this one, we're going to need more innings. If we're doing a 4-man rotation, we're going to need more innings. If we take 94 Indians, we'll need less innings, but he's going to be a little bit less of a pitcher. I'm just looking on who we have on this list. We already have Stieb. Catfish Hunter will probably have some good many innings. Randy Johnson will have some good inning seasons. Spencer and Cease are not going to have innings unless we make them a sort of spot starter. All right, we're going to go with this one. I think we'll I think we'll be able to find the innings with Catfish. ERAC. He's probably going to be have the most expensive seasons. Not unsurprising at all. But we could maybe go like a 300 inning. This is really expensive. He does give up home runs are a little high. Home runs are a little high. Like we would kind of want this season or this season. I don't feel like he's as dominant as we want him to be. Let's look at Ron Guidry. Another Yankee. A lot of 80s guys. Where does he rank in the 80s WAR? Someone tell me, like, ooh, look how great. Oh, only 190 innings, though. This one's interesting. Gives up a lot of hits. Well, not like a lot of hits, under 250. But 6. Okay, let's take this Guidry. So right now we'd want about 250 innings. Am I doing that math right? 260 innings if we want to get to 1,000. So Dryback. All right, let's look at Randy. The big unit. I kind of want like a Seattle year where he had that real mullet stash combo. This is going to be the cheapest of the years, and this isn't bad, but it's kind of expensive. If we took this $7 million version of him, we have $10 million to play with the bench, and we're a little under 1,000. Okay, well, we're going to go with this, and then we're going to like sort of load up. Let's see. Okay. You can't have a. You cannot have a mustache mountain without Raleigh fingers. I mean, this guy is all mustache. He's kind of expensive. I mean, this is not expensive. Let's make sure 1982 Raleigh fingers, good strikeout to walk, doesn't give up hits, doesn't give up homers. Okay. Raleigh fingers, you have to be on this team. I think Dan Queensberry has to be on this team. Another underrated, another guy that feels like he's forgotten the time. I don't know how to spell his last name. Dan Q. How many Dan Qs can there be? Dan Quayle? Quintonberry. Again, $2 million. This one gives up too many hits. His opponent batting average is a lot higher than I was expecting it to be. But he doesn't walk anyone. This one's really good. I'm not really crazy about any of these, if I'm going to be honest. Let's take this one because I don't think we're going to be leaning on him as much, but not a bad arm. Okay. Who else do we have on this? We've got Sparky Lyle, Goose Gossage. I think we got to go. Who has a better mustache? Sparky? Lyle? They have to have mustaches in the year we draft them as well. I mean, Sparky's got a great one now. Back then, I mean, he didn't even always have one. And then who else was the other guy? Goose Gossage. I think we're going to go with Gus. Yeah. We got to go with Gus, the Goose. The goose is loose. Of course, is it 1 O, the 2 O's, the 2 S's? How do you spell Gossage? Let's go Goss, like that. Rich Gossage. Okay. Almost 2-1. This one's we really like this strikeout to walk. Ratio doesn't give, okay, so we're taking this Rich Gossage. How are we looking at innings and how are we looking at that? We have we usually like going 50-50, so we have about 7 million left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need about 300 innings, 220 innings. Okay. I'm looking at the guys on my list here. No disrespect to the man, but I'm going to see if there's a cheap Todd Jones. Another great mustache, but like he was like good, really good some years, and he was also really not great some years. So we're going to take this cheap Todd Jones. He's going to be our mop-up sort of end of the – kind of still gives us a little more money to play with. Okay, let's look at Eckersley. We could have made him a starter too. He had some good starting seasons. But we're going to look at his relieving seasons, mostly Oakland. Like, look at this strikeout to walk ratio. Okay, these are kind of expensive though. This strikeout to walk ratio is pretty interesting, and it's not that expensive. This one's more expensive. Really good strikeout to walk ratios all these years. It's just what years did he give up hits and what years did he get innings? This one he gave up too many homers. This one he gave up too many homers. These years are too expensive. Okay, I'm kind of liking this year, and I'm kind of liking this year. All right, let's go 93 Eckersley. Okay, how many? We need 130 more innings. We're probably going to put it over 2 pitchers. Okay, we got an idea for someone. Rod Beck. Rod Beck was, if you guys don't know who Rod Beck was, he was just like cool and fat and also had a mullet. He looked like he should be in like a truck stop somewhere eating like just Philly cheesesteaks, man. Like, I don't even know. Just having like a piece of cheesecake and a burger and getting the burger like juice down his mustache. He's the everyman. This is a really good year, but it's only 40 innings. So let's see. 2-5. Both of these are good strikeout to walks. Gives up a lot of homers this year, though, and gives up a lot of hits. This one's, again, good, but it's only 40 innings. This one's good. He gives up homers. He's going to give up some long balls. If we do this, if we take this Rod Beck, we'll need about 80 innings, and we can go 2 pitchers. And we have 5 million. You know, we have money. We have some money here, so let's. Did we take a Queensberry? We took a Queensberry already, right? Maybe we'll take a better Queensberry. Part of me is thinking. Maybe we'll take a better Queensberry. Okay, let's try to take, what was the one that we had more innings? Let's take this. Gives up some homers. But he's still pretty good. So we're going to take this Rod Beck. And we're going to see if there's a little bit better of a better Queensberry. Quisenberry. I keep saying his name wrong. I don't know. I've never, heard his name said. He started watching baseball in like 93. He was already out of the league. But I've seen the name. He's like very famous. Like they love him in not St. Louis, in Kansas City, Missouri. I guess they all love him in Missouri. I mean, 99. Like, this is, well, again, he gives up a lot of hits. Maybe we'll go with this year. Again, gives up a lot of hits. Not a great strikeout to walk ratio, but doesn't give up, really didn't give up a lot of runs. What's about this version of him? Less home runs, a lot of hits. Okay, maybe we'll get this Queensberry. We have $2 million left on the pitchers, and now we only need about 20 innings. And who else do we have? We've got Sparky Lyle. Um, We've got Sparky Lyle. We could look at if one of these relief pitchers, like if Doug Drybeck has kind of like a year that we could have him be a closer or a reliever. I'm just looking here. All right, let's look at Sparky Lyle. I don't think Sparky Lyle will necessarily have cheapish seasons, but he's a guy that throws innings. But honestly, it's 40 innings, but it's like 40 really good innings. This is a 1967 Sparky Lyle, though, so that's pretty early in his life. Let's see, does he have a mustache in 1967? This might be Sparky Lyle. We're going to use baseball cards as the. There's no mustache in this. Wait. Sorry. I ain't seeing a mustache on this Sparky Lyle. Thank you for coming. Please try again. We're going to need a lefty in the bullpen as well, so we're going to go with the Lyle, but we're not going to go with that Lyle. Most recent search. That was a really good Sparky Lyle year. Maybe we'll go with this one. Not as good. Let's see if 1971 Sparky Lyle has a mustache. No. Red Sox version of Sparky Lyle does not have a mustache, and I kind of don't want any of these versions. I mean, this version's really good, but he's expensive. This version's really good. Do I have 2.8 to spend on him? We could spend this money on him, but do we want to go over 40 million? And does 1973 Sparky Lyle have a mustache? That's the other question. Again, no mustache. Mutton chops, but no mustache. Okay, Sparky, you're out. You are out of this question. Okay, who else? I got to now rack my brain. John Axelford. Let's go maybe in. Is it Axford? It's so weird. When you write these names, you always forget exactly what it is. No L. John Axford. Not a lefty, though. It would be nice to get a lefty in the bullpen. It would be nice. This one's pretty good. 2018, John Axford. Guys, let me know in the comments. Who's a good lefty mustache that I'm missing? No mustache on Blue Jays, John Axford, though. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. There's also David. Wait. That's not who I want. Who am I thinking of? Who played on the Pirates? Who played on the Pirates? One in the 80s, one Willie. Willie Hernandez. Oh, and he's a lefty. Mwah. Let's see if he had one on the Cubs. I know he had it on the Tigers. Again, these are some good years, though. Doesn't give up hits. Does give up some long balls. Okay. 1988. I'm pretty sure he has a 1988. Dave Hernandez. I keep calling him Dave. Willie Hernandez. He won a Cy Young as a relief pitcher. So yeah, that's a nice stash. That's a good stash and glasses combo. We love it, and we're under 4 million. Perfect. And we have the innings, and we have our lefty.